show. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
Hi everyone, my name is Mtweni Peterson Tisetso and I am new to the YouTube streets, guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. That's what most often people say, and I am happy and that you are here. If you are a subscriber already, that is perfect. If you haven't subscribed as yet, I hope that at the end of this particular video, guys, you will be convinced enough, especially with the concepts and things that we will be breaking down. We are going to dive deep into my own personal finances, guys. We'll be talking about savings. We'll be talking about how to manage debt, especially as a young adult, whether you are a student. And I think more than anything, personal finance is not about perfection, guys. It's about progress. So if you are feeling a bit of pressure, especially with looking at your finances, now that it's already festive season, guys, we know that people can get, a bit, hasty when it comes to the, financial spending, whether you want to go into, we just went into Black Friday. As we speak right now, it's either you spend money that you are not supposed to, it's either you realizing that it's festive season and you don't have enough to last you up until January. This particular YouTube channel, guys, is mainly for that. We will be speaking about everything finance, and we are going to be looking at my financial statements as well, whether how much I've spent on an Uber trip, whether how much I've spent on groceries, how much I've spent on clothes, entertainment. And if you're feeling a bit uneasy, guys, I would urge you to sit down and continue watching, because I am here not to confront you. We're not here to make anybody feel bad, but we are here so that you can be able to redress the mistakes that you have done. This YouTube channel, guys, is going to be talking about how and the mistakes that I've done as well, and how I was able to redress those mistakes. Think about this as a relationship with your partner. Whether it's arguments, whether it's those beautiful moments, everything is not going to be smooth sailing at all the times. At times you will be finding yourself in a bit of a predicament where you don't even know whether you're coming or going. If you can relate, just like this particular video already, guys. If you haven't subscribed, I am hoping, by the way, that we are going to be having fruitful conversations, you and I, guys. I will be diving deep into my personal finance. How is it that I've also paid for my own school fees? And UJ can be very expensive, so to speak. But for some of us that are very fortunate to be having a side hustle, having a job, having other funds or sources of income coming into our accounts, and if you are feeling a bit uneasy, once again thinking, oh, I only have my job and I only have my salary that is lasting only about 2 days or so, I want you to just be comfortable. I would like for you to also interact with us. Tell us about your story. We will be also breaking down a number of things, guys. We will be having segments as well on our YouTube channel. We will have what we call Zaga on the Streets, where we are going to be interacting with the public and asking them about their finances, and not to make them uncomfortable, but so that you can realize that you are not the only person going through that, guys. It's our typical child-headed families, typical mama is not working, typical I grew up in the Kasi story, where money is always an issue. Growing up being told that or your mom or your dad had just gotten paid, but they're saying, I don't have the money. How did that make you feel, guys? Please let us know in the comment section below as well. I can tell you about how that made me feel. Thinking, I know that my mom gets paid on this particular day, but she's saying, I don't have the money. Now growing up, or as I am a grown adult or still growing, I now understand as a working class that this is what it means when they say I don't have the money, but they've just gotten paid. Again, I think we have all had those phrases from our parents, of course, and sometimes you would feel like maybe they're trying to deprive you of certain things. But now that I've grown up, I've gotten to understand a number of concepts. I've gotten to understand all of those things and what they mean. Let me tell you about my personal story and how this all started. I remember a time, I think I was in grade 7 or so, when my grandmother gave me a packet of sweets. I think it was chocolates also, saying, Opa, she used to call me Opa, by the way. Opa, I'm giving you these things so that you can sell Koskolo. I took those sweets, went to school, sold to my classmates, and I made that profit. I didn't know how much it was. I didn't know the cost of those packet of sweets. I was selling at about, I think, 50 cents at that time. But one of the mistakes that I've also learned from that particular experience, guys, is that I made the money so that I can spend it. The joy of making profit got me very excited, but I was not business minded. But this is where the business acumen started. So it's all thanks to my grandma. Fast forward, my mother had a camera. We're going to a farewell in grade 7. And you know, farewell, you know, schools and trips and all of those things, guys. More than anything, what usually happens is that you don't have a smartphone. A child that has a smartphone, it's only a few of you guys. And when we got there, I'm the one that has the camera. And this also explains why I don't have a lot of pictures from primary or a lot of pictures from high school and all of that, because I've always been the one behind the lens. So I used to take pictures, and that's how I used to make money as well in grade 7. Those of you that went to Rakoto High School or went to Ramabele or Komba Primary School in Hamaskal, you guys would know I used to take the pictures and I would print them out and make you guys pay. Also, getting into grade 8, I realized that this is something that I can also do. You know, those cute couples at school, or you just found, you know, a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, I would just approach those people as well and say, can I take you guys a picture, print them out? I think it was about 10 rands or so, and I would make decent amount of money. But because the financial education for most of us guys is not intentional, you get the money, you spend the money, that's it. As to whether it is that you need to budget, whether it is that you need to save, it's not something that is really taught intentionally so from our parents or from our schooling system as well. And I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm saying if I knew then what I know now, I would be in a better position. So this particular video, guys, it can be watched about just about anybody, whether you are a grade 1, whether in high school, whether in middle school. More importantly, guys, if you are also in varsity, this will be very important for you to also take the teachings and give it to your siblings, whether you are a mom, whether you are a new mom, or you've just graduated, you have a job. These things are very important, and I will be talking about those things as well, including you know, getting into varsity now. Things are a little bit tough, and you know that varsity can be very expensive. And think about this, I'm from Pretoria, I've just finished my matric in 2016, I'm going to Hatfield. You guys know University of Pretoria. I get there, the pressures of wanting to look a certain way, the pressures of wanting to fit in as well. And this is where our personal finance journey more or less, you know, segues into a different direction, because I had started a recycling, not a company, but I started picking up plastic bottles. I remember at that time, and there was this lady that I also liked very much, who said, Peterson, I can't date you because you are doing this thing, but because I wanted to also fend more for myself. I wanted to make a living for myself to avoid asking my parents for money, of course. So that is one thing that I've also done. So I've always been a hustler. I've always wanted to do things on my own. And if that person is you, please also comment down below and let us know what is it that you're trying to do or trying to achieve, so that we can be able to assist you in navigating the journey, in assisting you to put up. You don't necessarily need a business plan, guys. You just need one idea and execute it as well. And if you also feeling that edge, you're thinking about it a lot to say, should I subscribe, should I not, just click. And now if you've gotten you hooked and interested in what we are talking about, guys, we know the typical university story of a student in University of Pretoria. I got approached. There was this one time I went to Hatfield Plaza. They approached me and said, hey bro, don't you want an account for Sports Scene? And I said, ish, but I'm not working. They said, no, come, let's have a look at your profile. And this is more or less what happens to most of us. You walk into a mall, you walk into a store, you see a jean that you like, and they say, don't you want an account? And guys, this is where now, I don't want to say it, but this is where something hits the fan. It's not something that is spoken to about enough, especially talking about your credit score. This is where you can either start building your credit score or start messing it up. From the onset, I started messing it up. I opened a Sports Scene account, not to bash Sports Scene, but I'm just trying to make you guys realize, because that was the store that most of us used to buy from, of course. So I opened that account with that particular financial service provider. They said, do you get any allowance from your parents? And I said, yes. They said, print your bank statement. I gave them my 3 months bank statement. They looked at how much goes into my account, and I did not have any credit history at that time, because when it comes to your credit history, guys, or your credit score, it is based off of the trust that whatever it is that they give to you in advance, whether it's money, whether it's credit, it's based on the trust that you are also going to pay it back on time. So I did take that account, and immediately I swiped 2 jeans, red bet, 1 t-shirt, and let me tell you guys, I had to pay the price. So I ended up paying way more than I should, because of there was a time where I had just dropped out. So I took those things when I was doing my first year. Second year, when I finished my second year, I decided that I'm not going back to school. And at that time, I had just gotten my first job at the University of Pretoria, working at the Engineering Study Center as a help desk assistant, earning 2,500. I remember my first pay. We used to get paid on the 25th. It was a very exciting time. I remember leaving class because I had just gotten that ting ting message notification from FNB saying money in. I could not contain myself, guys. And in this particular YouTube channel, I want us to also go into, conversations around the emotions around money. And you are a different person when you have the money compared to when you are planning how to use the money, or when you are still looking forward to getting paid, and the emotions around that. Some of us are impulse purchasers like myself. So what did I do when I got paid on my first job? Took the money. Or in fact, I went to the student center, put in my card at the ATM, but because I had been broke for so long, I forgot my PIN. I typed in my PIN for the first time, it said incorrect. Second time, incorrect. Third time, incorrect. They said you only have one last try. Took out that card, I had to wipe it Bazalwane, and that was the most fearing moment of my life, when I thought if I block my card, it means I will never ever be able to access this money. What did I do? Insert the card, last try, block the card. I could not function. I left and I went to the branch and I told them what had happened, and they said, no, we can be able to assist you in resetting this particular password. And they did just that. But with any other story that you guys have heard, especially on I Blow It, where they say I did not believe the money was real, the very same thing happened to me. What did I do? I went to the ATM once again and I withdrew 100 rand just to prove that the money is real, of course. So those are some of the things that I want to talk about and make you realize that you are not on your own. You are not on your own in this journey, guys. And besides the sports scene account with the clothes that I've taken, I also had an iPhone because I wanted to fit in. And having an iPhone in varsity makes you can pull it out whenever there's a call. But if you are using the Telele Mahlangu, it's a bit embarrassing. But if you are also feeling that, especially as a university student, guys, please do not fall into that particular pressure. I know how it feels. Please do not hound your parents. Please do not take credit if you are not sure. So I went to one of the network service providers and I said, I want to apply for a phone. They gave it to me. Like your typical Johnny comes to Josie story, they took it, guys. But what does that mean? I had to continue paying for that iPhone that I did not have. Sadly, because I did not also have the cell phone insurance. And these are things that I also want to talk about and break down in this particular show that we call the Zaga Talk. And the Zaga Talk, guys, more than anything, is all about honesty. It's all about transparency. And I would like for us to also share a number of stories. I will not only be talking about my story, I will be talking about other people's stories that have also given me consent to talk about their story and how it has changed their lives and all of that. You understand? And also getting my first job had meant that now I have a bit of money, but there was no financial literacy. And I think this is one of the most important things that you need to do for yourself. Get clued up, get educated. There's so many YouTube channels, just like this very same YouTube channel that somebody's going to be looking at. You have your Nicolette Mashile, you have your Mapalo Maku, you have your Maya Fisher French, you have Pesi Singo, who wrote a book called How to Make Your Salary Work For You. You have Nicolette Mashile, who wrote What's Your Move. You have Mapalo Maku, who wrote You Are Not Broke, You Are Pre-Rich. You have Maya Fisher French. You have Witness Mdaga, It's More Than Just Money podcast. You have a number of things that you can do, guys. You have a number of resources, and this is exactly the reason why you and I are going to be doing this thing. And I hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. I know it is just a teaser. I know it is just an explanatory video where I am just simply giving you guys a whole overview of what we are going to be talking about. We'll dive deep into my personal stories about savings, how I got into serious debts, how I managed to get out of them, some of the side hustles that I have as an individual, and how I am able to manage money. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. Please do follow us on TikTok as well. It's Mtweni Peterson. Follow us on LinkedIn if you do have LinkedIn. Please follow us also on Facebook, on all our social medias, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and also please don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Mtweni Peterson, and once again, guys, welcome to that Zaga Talk. Once more, stay tuned.